All right, everybody, welcome to the Backseat Huddle podcast, episode 76. It is Friday, which means I am doing predictions for this week's slate of lame-ass fucking games. Look at this. Look at this. This schedule sucks this week. There's like 3 maybe good games this week, but the good news is I'm going to tell you who's going to win them. Just like last week where I was 9-4, which brought me to 37-19 total this season picking games. Enough bullshit. Let's talk about it. Miami Dolphins versus Philadelphia Eagles. This game screams Philadelphia victory to me, and I would not be shocked to see a 10-point or more victory for them. Tell me right now where the Dolphins are better than the Eagles. I'll start. Probably head coach, and now you think of the rest. Quarterback? Probably not. Jalen Hurts had a tough game last week, but it's being way overblown, and he is more individually talented than Tua. Running back? At risk of offending Theo Ash, who probably won't see this, I'll take Philadelphia. Wide receiver? Okay. Tyreek Hill is better than A.J. Brown, but after that, it's about the same. Tight end? Philadelphia. Offensive line? Philadelphia. Defensive line? Philadelphia decisively. Linebackers? I would lean towards Philadelphia, but I don't actually know, so feel free to educate me. Secondary, Philadelphia. At least right now, it's the Eagles. If this game were in week 12 where Jalen Ramsey was healthy, maybe it would be Miami. But for now, it's Philadelphia. As I go through this roster and look at them as a whole, I just think Philadelphia has more good players. And the last time Miami played a defense that was actually good and was a real defense, when they played against Buffalo, they looked completely different. And I don't think Buffalo's defense is as good as Philly's. So I like Philadelphia a lot in this game. I'm going to take the Eagles 31-24. Ravens versus Lions. Are we going to get the Ravens team that can catch the ball? Or are we going to get the Ravens team that cannot catch the ball? If we get the team that can't catch the ball, I'm taking the Lions. If we get the team that can catch the ball, I'm taking the Lions. Jokes aside, here's the actual challenge in picking this game is that the Ravens offense isn't particularly inspiring, but Lamar Jackson individually is just so electric and he just has so much talent. He could just explode and throw any analysis I have completely out the window. It's okay to ask Lamar to be the focal point of your offense and have the entire offense flow through him. But asking him to carry it is something else entirely. And I don't see a way this week for the Ravens offense to go toe-to-toe with the Lions, especially considering how good the Lions defense has been this season. They had one bad game against Seattle, and they've shut everyone else down. Zay Flowers is a great player, but he's not enough. That means Lamar is going to take on even more responsibility, and asking one player to shoulder the entire load just doesn't work. The Lions offensively are very good. However, if there's a key to stopping this offense, this Lions offense, it's to stop the run. In the 2 games that they have had a player rush for more than 100 yards, they're averaging 38 points per game. If they do not have a rusher over 100 yards, they're averaging 23 points per game. That's a fucking massive swing. And the Ravens have a top 10 rushing defense. So there is your key matchup. Despite it all, I like Detroit's roster a lot more than I like Baltimore's. So I'm going to pick the Ravens, or rather, I'm going to pick the Lions 24-21. Rams versus Steelers. There's 2 major questions for this game. Number 1, can the Rams play more than one good half of football? Can they put together a complete game? And number 2, can the Rams' suspect-ass offensive line hold up the TJ Watt and the Steelers? If the answer to either of those questions is yes, or yes, but the Rams should win this game. I fucking hate trying to do predictions of Steelers games because they just so often win games that they shouldn't and just cock up every fucking thing that football should be and just cock up analysis in general. So I don't really know what to do. I'm going to guess Rams 22-14. Buccaneers versus Falcons. This one should be an easy Buccaneers win. Desmond Ridder is looking worse and worse as the season goes on, and Todd Bowles is an excellent defensive head coach. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say the Buccaneers force 3 turnovers this game and win by 10 points or more. The Falcons defense itself is actually pretty solid in their own right, They shut down the Commanders' offense in the second half last week, but I don't believe that their defense is good enough to overcome the offense's shortcomings. So I'm going to take the Buccaneers 20-9. Browns versus Colts. If the Browns play 80% of the way they played last week against the 49ers, they will win this game. I don't like saying this, but I don't really feel good picking the Browns because I don't think the way they won last week is particularly repeatable because of the level of defensive execution it requires. But the Colts offense is nowhere near as good as the 49ers is. Therefore, the Browns defense doesn't necessarily have to be either. So the Browns don't have to be as good as they were last week. I do still like them in this game, 21-17. Cardinals versus Seahawks. Cardinals are coming back down to earth after an early season run where they looked pretty tough, but they're just nowhere near as talented as they need to be to hang in with some of those teams like the Seahawks are. Weird things happen in divisional games all the time, so I'm not ruling anything out, but it feels like the Seahawks should win this game. I'm going to pick them 31-16. Raiders versus Bears. Bears don't have a quarterback. Raiders have Max Crosby. Raiders win 21-14. Giants versus Commanders. The Giants actually looked a lot better last week than they have at any other point in the season, but I'm still not buying them because the Commanders are also coming off one of their best games of the season. So I like the Commanders to continue winning 24-21. Packers versus Broncos. I literally cannot put into words how much I do not care about this game. Packers fucking 25-20. I don't know. Chiefs versus Chargers. Chiefs win a lower scoring game because neither of these teams' offenses are really that good. I'll take the Chiefs 20-17. Vikings versus 49ers. Vikings have no fucking shot in this game. 49ers get back to their winning ways. They get things right. They're going to win this game 34-17. And lastly, by the time this is uploaded, this game will be over, but it is Thursday morning as I'm recording this. So I'm going to pick the Jaguars over the Saints tonight, assuming Trevor Lawrence plays. Going to take them 30-20. I just want to make sure it gets put on the record. So that's it, you guys. That is my show. Thank you guys for watching. Feel free to like and subscribe. Take care, everybody.